Hey guys, welcome back to Carrying the Cross. This is your host Isaac, and today we're in episode 2, and I will be talking about how to build a strong character. So, let me establish what is not a strong character. A person that acts aggressive does not have a strong character. That is a common misconception. Now, how to know if you have a strong character? So, I will be talking a lot about self-control in this episode. A person that practices self-control usually is of strong character. Okay? So, I have a question for you before we get started. And reflect on this, and you can do a self-assessment towards the video to maybe find evidence if what you say right now is actually true. So, is your mind stronger than your feelings? Just keep that in your mind and we'll see, right? So, today I'm going to talk about 3 main things that could be evidence if you have a strong character or not. So, number 1 is speech. Number 2 is evil desires. And number 3 is discipline. So, let's start with the first one, speech. Let me quote the Bible right now. So, in the book of James, chapter 3, verse 7 to 8, it says, "For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and sea creature can be tamed and has been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. With it we bless our Lord, and with it we curse others." So just think of that for a second. You might think, "Oh yeah, I totally control my tongue, right? It's my tongue. Why would I not control what I say, right?" But in reality, we bless the Lord and we curse others. No mankind has ever tamed the tongue. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you tools that you could potentially, have a better handle of it. So in James chapter 1, verse 19, it says, "Be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." So this is very important and it's going to come in handy, so do not forget this. Okay? Do you speak whatever comes to mind, or do you control your tongue? That's another question that I'm going to put right there. And I'm going to start with this. Swearing. Okay? How often do you just react to what people say or what you're feeling? Like, oh, you hit your toe. Oh man, and you say that horrible word that the Lord does not want you to say, and no one else wants you to say, or maybe they do, but that's not going to do any good. So, swearing, that's actually a sin in the Bible, and God commands us to not speak any profanities or vulgar language. So, do you swear, right? And before I proceed, I'm just going to say that everything that I'm talking about right now is for your good. You might not feel good, but it's for your good and for the good of your future and your surroundings, okay? And this comes from God, not from me. So the other thing is the name of the Lord in vain. I'm guilty of it. Sometimes you can just do something bad and say the Messiah's name, and you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. You don't want to curse or just say the name of God in vain when something wrong happens and just make it a commonality and just use it all the time, make it a habit. You don't want to do that. You got to respect the Lord, and that's not good. So another thing is, are you lashing out in anger to your partner, to your parents, or are you yelling back at your kids? Are you hitting them, right? We're talking speech here, but it could also be applied in physical abuse. Sometimes we gotta straighten our kids, but you gotta consider the methods that you're using and really think what it's doing to them and to their future. So how's your communication with your partner? If you guys don't agree on something, do you build a barrier in between the both of you, or do you come to a common ground as a team and put the other's interest above yourselves? For your parents, when you come back from school and you just throw that backpack of yours in the kitchen, in the living room, and your mom's like, pick that up. She like yells at you, pick that up, and like take it to your room, and like your mom just, mom's always, I love you, mom, but a lot, all the time they are always yelling, or at least in my experience, right? But I love my mom. But what I'm trying to say here is, do you talk back to your parents? Are you talking back to your mom, or are you saying yes, mom, and you obey? God says if you obey your parents, you will live a long life. That's a promise. So are you obeying your parents? And the other thing is with your kids, right? When your kids disobey you, do you hit them instantly? Do you yell at them? Or do you try to talk to them? So establish a common ground, right? And try to teach them without hitting them. Just think of how Jesus would do it, right? And the other thing is, right, with your coworkers, with your friends, are you gossiping? Are you talking behind others' backs? And this is something I'm gonna say right now. If you want to build trust, first we gotta start trusting ourselves first. We gotta start trusting that we're gonna do good, and we're gonna have evidence of us doing good, and that's the only way people are gonna trust us. Okay? You're not gonna want to trust a liar, would you? Or someone that gossips, talks behind your back, right? So we want to consider these things, right? And the other thing is evil desires now. So are we controlling our fleshly desires? This could be in unhealthy foods. This could be our ego. And for unhealthy foods, right, gluttony is actually a sin. So we're all sinners here. I'm not here to judge anybody. But let's take a look. Let's pause and take a look. Let's do a self-assessment right now. Do we have control over the foods that we're putting in our body? Right? If we have a monster drink, I have a bad experience with monster drinks, real bad. Okay, oh man, horrible. I procrastinated so bad for a whole semester and drank like 4 of those, and my heart was beating so fast, and then my chest was burning, and I've heard that people have died from that. Right? So let's look at these things and be wise about them. Are we controlling our intake? Okay, I'm not saying don't eat chocolates, but are you controlling how many of those are going into your system? Right? Evil desires, right? For example, this is another one for our ego, right? Do we push others down and keep a superiority sense of ourselves? Right? Really consider that. Are we humble? Do we forgive others for when they do wrong? When they humble themselves, do we forgive them? Right? And that's only going to bring healing to us. And that's another way that we can build and forge our character. Do we have control over our eyes and run away from temptation? This could be lust, this could be unhealthy foods, this could be anger, this could be anything. Do we have control over our eyes, over our hands, over mind, our heart, everything? We have to. God gave us self-control, so we have to practice it. And the other thing is discipline. So, right, especially for Christians here, how constant are you going to church, right? Do you wake up and you're like, oh man, my back hurts, I worked so hard. It's Saturday, I'm not gonna go to church, Just think about it. It's 1 hour of your whole week, an hour and a half. How many Netflix shows are you watching throughout the week? And you can't give God or the congregation, your church that is trying to care for your community 1 hour? Just think about it. I've been guilty of it in the past. But we want to make sure we're putting God first as much as we can, so He prospers us. We just want to have a good communion with them. So think about that. Are we staying disciplined? Or are we staying home and watching the services and just giving a bad image to those around us? Another thing is, Are we getting late? Are we arriving late to work? Or are we there on time? Can others be testimony, of our work? Are we there early? Or are we just, you know, like making this turn 60 miles per hour on a 45 miles per hour street, and just and everybody can see, oh man, this guy's racing. You could crash, you could kill someone, you could get fired. So many things that could go wrong if you don't stay disciplined. And sometimes you even have to have a schedule for that. So if you can stay disciplined, try to have a schedule. Try to be there earlier. Just try to come up with solutions. So I used to arrive to work very, very late. And in order for me to fix that, I had to wake up earlier, but like way earlier. So if I had to leave at 6:30, I would try to be ready at 6, right? Just an example. So we have to find those solutions in our lives. And we want to set good examples. We want to build trust, but we got to build it with ourselves first. We got to trust ourselves first. And if we can do this, I strongly believe that God will equip us to have a strong character and to have a stronger mind than our feelings. And in most scenarios, we'll make the right decisions. So this was episode 2, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Self-reflect, try to answer the questions, and leave any comments down below, any suggestions for follow-up questions or videos. Just let me know down below. And I also have a Spotify, so feel free to join it, and I hope to see you in the next one. God bless.